of things are going to fly by. Don't move.
Howie, shut up.
Tuesday, Shakira is getting everyone on their feet.
Do you salsa, Nick? I want to see your moves.
Are you sure you're from Jersey? You're not from Colombia?
Dancing with Myself, Tuesday at 10, 9 Central on NBC.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Halsey. NBC Tonight.
Check your cameras. Trust only the best. Protect your family, home, or business with 24/7 armed response. Remember, AmeriGuards it.
Lithia Subaru of Fresno proudly supports tonight's first segment of local news that matters. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru. Confidence in motion.
KC24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
Good evening to you. We've had a breezy evening and a cool day. The breeze beginning to end across the area. Right now you see the west side still looking at some breezier conditions than central portions of the valley over to the east, like Visalia, a 9-mile-per-hour wind. Still 16 miles per hour though right now in Fresno. And a look at what conditions are like as far as temperatures. We're still in the 70s here in Fresno with 73, 68 just to the north in Madera. Temperatures over the next few days will begin to warm, about average again tomorrow, but triple digits by midweek. And I'll show you a comfortable Father's Day weekend in your local weather authority forecast. KC24 News at 11 starts now.
Local news that matters. This is KC24 News at 11.
Domestic violence cases do happen, and unfortunately they happen too often.
A woman found dead near Visalia. Her estranged husband now in custody tonight. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexander Balakian.
And I'm Stephanie Barujian.
New at 11, a Fresno firefighter rushed to the hospital after coming into contact with a fallen power line while putting out a blaze between two homes.
During the firefight and protecting exposures, one of our firefighters was potentially shocked by one of the lines. He has been treated on scene and is at the hospital being treated. He's in good condition.
And 4 homes were threatened between McKinley Avenue and Kenmore Drive. It's unclear how that fire started.
The body of a Visalia woman discovered in the area of Avenue 288 and Road 68. KC24 weekend anchor Jennifer Ortega reports her estranged husband, 41-year-old Thomas Van Ees, is behind bars on murder charges.
It's been 3 days since police found the body of 37-year-old Christy Van Ness, and they have yet to nail down a motive. 41-year-old Thomas Van Ness sits behind bars, charged with the murder of his ex-wife, as police continue to interview witnesses and gather evidence.
While they're conducting their investigation and digging deeper into what may have occurred, they were able to identify the victim's estranged husband as the suspect in the case.
Christy Van Ness was found here Friday. Her body lying near an orchard in this rural area of Visalia on Avenue 288 and Road 68. Officials say a worker in the area saw her body lying in the field and called police.
Domestic violence cases do happen, and unfortunately they happen too often. And fortunately they very rarely rise to this level of violence, but in this case it did happen.
People that live in the area shocked to hear what happened.
Oh, whenever stuff like that is happening, report it. Don't stay quiet. Speak up.
It's usually just hard-working people out here that just trying to make a living, you know, and it's all mostly farm workers and, you know, farmers.
Authorities say Christy's death was suspicious, and that's why they tracked down her estranged husband, who was arrested a day after she was found. Tonight, police have this advice for victims.
If you are experiencing domestic violence, please reach out to law enforcement, victim advocacy groups, and getting help in dealing with those domestic violence situations.
Police are still looking into how long the two were estranged for. If you have any information that can help in this case, you're asked to call authorities. In Visalia, Jennifer Ortega, KC24, local news that matters.
Tonight, more than a dozen arrests made in the South Valley, including a Visalia couple and their son for the alleged involvement in a human trafficking ring and drug operation. Armando and Amparo Torres of Visalia taken into custody along with their 18-year-old son, Armando Jr. Sheriff's detectives say the family was involved in trafficking several victims who were sexually assaulted. The suspects also allegedly took part in trafficking marijuana and cocaine. Detectives are still searching for 27-year-old Christian Torres and 43-year-old Juventino Torres. The suspects are facing numerous felony drug and sex trafficking charges. A total of 13 arrests were made in connection to this trafficking ring.
4 Valley residents killed in a crash today in Monterey County. The CHP says it happened at the intersection of Holon Road and Mission Road. 3 of the victims were from Fresno, the 4th from Merced. Investigators say their ages range from the mid-30s to early 50s. The driver of the other vehicle involved has been hospitalized. It's unclear at this point what led up to that crash.
A body discovered this afternoon in an east central Fresno ponding basin. The discovery made around 3:30 in the afternoon in the area of Ashland and Chestnut, and that is near Viking Elementary. Fresno police say the victim did not have any obvious signs of trauma.
At this point, it's too early in the investigation to really give an accurate description of the person that was located. We do know it's a male, but that's all the information that we have at this point.
It's unclear how long the man's body had been in the ponding basin. An autopsy will determine the exact cause of death.
Yosemite National Park rangers asking for help tracking down the vandals who tagged trails in the park. They say some of the rocks that lined the trail are now covered with spray paint and tags. Our Catherine Phillips joining us now in studio. And Catherine, what more are rangers saying about this crime?
Well, it's definitely, understandably, park rangers say they are devastated and frustrated that someone would come to one of the most well-known and well-traveled national parks in the country and commit a crime like this. But when they are caught, they could be facing some serious consequences.
Will come here in over 30 places, and to do this type of tagging is just it's unacceptable. It's infuriating. It's heartbreaking, it's distressing, and it is really upsetting, and is really in a lot of ways the antithesis of what we're trying to do here in Yosemite, which is preserve this magical, wonderful, special place for all Americans.
Park Ranger Scott Getteman is appalled at the tagging that took place on the Yosemite Falls Trail on May 20th. Getteman says sometime between 6 in the evening to 11 at night, multiple suspects used blue and white spray paint cans to tag up to 30 spots along the trail. He says some of the tags were as small as 1 foot by 1 foot wide, others nearly 8 feet by 8 feet.
This person or people simply walked up the trail, and all of the tagging is right along the trail. And so for the literally hundreds of people that go on the trail every day, they see it. And so these people just took it upon themselves to hike up the trail with cans of spray paint and do all this tagging.
They're still searching for the suspects, but once they're caught, they're facing federal charges. Anything from damaging wildlife to defacing federal property. And while it's been a few weeks, Getteman says they're still in the process of cleaning up the tagging, having to be careful not to damage the wildlife and nature rangers are sworn to protect.
Can't just use real harsh chemicals because we don't want to damage the rock. There's also trees, lichens, other plants involved. This is so extensive and it's in so many areas, it's going to take some time for us to completely remove everything.
Now, park rangers say if you were at Yosemite on May 20th, saw any of people who were in the area that could be possible suspects, or have any photos or videos that could be helpful, they're asking you to please reach out to the National Park Service. Their number and email are already linked on this story on yourcentralvalley.com. Live in the studio, Catherine Phillips, Ksee 24, local news that matters.
Catherine, thank you. A road rage incident leading to an assault on a Sanger police officer. It happened around 3:30 in the afternoon, and police receiving this call from a driver who said he was being followed by a black SUV on Academy Avenue. Detectives were in the area and spotted the car speeding into the parking lot of the post office downtown. 27-year-old Jeremiah Nunn got out and hit the other car with a baseball bat. Detectives confronted the man, who then rammed their unmarked car and took off in a pursuit and it came to an end after Nunn crashed into a tree. He was treated for minor injuries and then taken into custody. Still unclear why the two cars were in a chase. No one else was hurt.
3 suspects behind bars in connection with 5 robberies within 5 hours throughout the city of Fresno. These are the guns that Fresno police say were used. They turned out to be fake guns. One of the robberies happened in the parking lot of Fashion Fair Mall. Police say 18-year-old Griselda Sampredo served as the getaway driver, while 2 minors held up several victims. She and the minors now face robbery and conspiracy charges.
A series of social media posts by a Fresno City councilman at the center of a heated religious debate during the Pride flag ceremony at City Hall. Councilman Gary Bredefeld posting controversial thoughts on social media against the Pride flag being raised at Fresno City Hall, as well as a pastor who delivered a prayer this past Friday during the ceremony.
You, queer one, queering one, reveal the gifts of falling outside the lines.
And Bredefeld calling that prayer, quote, a disgraceful attack on traditional Christianity.
Well, I was very offended by it. He attacks Jesus. He's attacking Christians and Christianity, and I thought it was very inappropriate. If you're a follower of Jesus Christ, I don't know how you would refer to Jesus Christ as the scandalous one and the queer of nations and all of that. There are people who then want to take that and say you're against people who are homosexual, which is completely false and not true. But the fact is, when you attack Jesus in what you call a prayer, I'm going to speak up about it, and I did.
You know, he and I are both Christians, even if we're in different churches. I'm a gay Christian, and I'm sorry, I get to pray from my perspective too.
An existing petition calling for Bredefeld's resignation received a boost of 100 signatures, at least a few hundred signatures over the weekend due to this controversy. Though Bredefeld says he is unfazed by it.
A special day for a Fresno police captain graduating from the FBI National Academy.
Anthony Martinez, Fresno Police Department, Fresno, California.
Captain Anthony Martinez among 265 members of law enforcement who graduated from the 10-week program in Quantico. Courses cover intelligence theory, understanding terrorism, behavioral science, and forensic science. The officers have 100% of their tuition, books, and other expenses covered.
Still to come here at 11, day 2 of the January 6th committee hearings, attempting to reveal what committee members call the big lie.
There were suggestions by, I believe it was Mayor Giuliani, to go and declare victory and say that we'd won it outright.
What members of President Trump's inner circle had to say about the results of the 2020 election.
And another disappointing day as Wall Street enters bear market territory.
We're still looking at breezy conditions fading away quickly right now outside, and a cool day too. Temperatures are warming up from here. Again, next in your local Weather Authority forecast. First, a look at your allergy forecast from the Boss Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Center.
I'm waking up my day, so let's get it started. Turn it up, turn it on, keep the morning moving right along. Yeah, I'm waking up my day, you make it feel alright. I'm waking up my day, waking up my day. Don't you know I'm ready for whatever comes my way? I'm waking up my
to Subaru at Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Tonight, Jimmy sits down with Halsey.
It's so good.
And a best friends challenge.
My answer is mayonnaise.
The correct answer is
Plus Larry Wilmore and News and Improved. New Tonight Show.
Serious injuries require a serious attorney. That's why more and more people choose Jacoby & Myers.
we get insurance companies to pay up to 10 times more. That means more medical and financial assistance. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
Beyond Van Gogh, the immersive experience. Now open for a limited engagement at the Fresno Convention and Entertainment Center. Tickets are available at vangoghfresno.com. Beyond Van Gogh.
Ksee 24 is brought to you by J-Pot Mini Hot Pot and Bar.
Looking at our valley cams earlier, you could see the tree branches and the leaves, the palm fronds all moving around very vigorously in the breeze today. Right now, there's just a little bit of sway in these palm trees out front on our Ksee 24 valley cam. Right now, the west side of the valley is still experiencing wind speeds like 18 miles per hour. In Lemoore, 12, and Madera, 13 in Merced. But here, we've been watching our wind gusts decrease, and right now, wind is just 9 miles per hour in Visalia. It's what our wind forecast was showing would happen. Still looking at breezy conditions down south in the deserts, and that will continue when return tomorrow. It's Thursday that we see the breeze like today perhaps return in the evening hours then. As for high temperatures today, we were below our average. 86 for the high today in Fresno, 85 in Visalia with 86 in Porterville, and 87 in Hanford and in Lemoore. Our average high for this time of year is 91 degrees. So you can see that this was some welcome relief and a change in the weather from those triple digits we saw just a couple days ago, Friday into Saturday. And of course, temperatures outside right now, a mixture of 60s and 70s. 67 in Visalia, 68 in Madera, and 65 right now in Porterville with Hanford at 72. Still a mixture of moderate and good air quality through the central portion of the valley. You can see these yellow dots indicating where stations are reporting moderate air quality. Well, the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District is forecasting a change in air quality tomorrow. With some more calm wind, are expecting good air quality for much of the region. So these winds came on the tail end of a storm system that crossed to our north. You see some radar returns from the end of that. And as that brought in cool air, our temperatures dropped considerably yesterday and today. Now that system's passed, our temperatures are going to start warming again, and we'll be by 100 degrees or so by Wednesday this week. Thursday, Fridays, temperatures starting to cool little by little, and then we are expecting cooler than average and comfortable conditions for the Father's Day weekend. 32,000 megawatt hours of solar electricity generation set for tomorrow, and your renewable solar forecast, it is a 9.4 on that solar power index of 0 to 10. 61 degrees for Fresno tonight, Madera at 56, Chowchilla, Mariposa 55, and 58 in Merced tonight. Well, temperatures tomorrow are going to warm into the 90s, so we'll be about a degree or so away from our average for this time of year. 92 Selma, 92 in Visalia. Here's a look at your extended forecast, where we do have temperatures that are going to reach the 100-degree mark Wednesday, but it's just a brief occurrence of triple digits in this forecast. Back to 99, the breeze picking up and cooler temperatures arriving after Thursday. 82 on Saturday, a nice Father's Day with 86 for a high temperature then.
That's an incredible drop.
That looks great.
It's a nice drop.
Yeah, no complaints.
We'll take it. All right, Justin, thank you. Coming up next in sports, the Warriors win away from the NBA title.
Andrew Martin joining us now with that story and more. Andrew.
Alexandria just jinxed it. They played well tonight, even if Steph Curry did not have his best game individually, and he also saw a pretty lengthy streak come to an end. But the Warriors did win. We'll head to San Francisco next in Sports Central.
Nothing is more satisfying than a newly opened jar of peanut butter.
Join Ksee 24 for a Jar Goes Far peanut butter drive.
Wednesday at the Ksee 24 studios.
Spread the hope and bring us your donations of peanut butter.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
It all started with an idea. What if we built a high-stakes bingo hall in the heart of the Central Valley? It was a struggle, but we did it. Soon we grew and added slots and table games. And the idea got bigger. What if we built a world-class resort featuring entertainment, dining, and luxurious rooms? 35 years has flown by, but the same spirit remains. The new Table Mountain Casino Resort. The adventure continues. July 2022.
Meet a doctor who connects all the dots. Oftentimes, people with low back pain, knee pain, or hip pain don't even recognize that it's actually coming from their feet.
Their feet? For real?
Absolutely, 100%. It can have a domino effect because their foot and their ankle aren't supported properly. Their whole body is out of whack.
Getting back into whack? Good Feet arch supports could help.
Keeping your body in good alignment, that can go a long way.
Come in for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
Ksee 24 is brought to you by J-Pot Mini Hot Pot and Bar.
Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Game 5 of the NBA Finals between the Warriors and Celtics. Series tied 2-2. Andrew Wiggins with a big game for Golden State. 26 points, 13 rebounds. Steph Curry scored 16 points. He was 0 for 9 from three-point range. That ends his streak of 132 consecutive games in the postseason with at least one made three-pointer. Jordan Poole made that three-pointer at the end of the third quarter. Warriors win 104-94. They now lead the series 3-2. They are one win away from their fourth title in 8 years. Game 6 is on Thursday. Another Fresno State men's basketball player has entered the transfer portal, Junior Ballard. That makes 4 since the end of last season. And that's not counting Orlando Robinson, who's in the NBA draft. Ballard joins Braxton Mia, Deion Stroud, and Robert Vaihola as Bulldogs to enter the portal. 2 of those 3 have already signed with new teams. Mia went to Washington, Viola, San Jose State. Junior Ballard joined the Bulldogs 2 years ago from Cal Poly. This past season, he appeared in 23 of the Bulldogs' 36 games. He started 2 of them, averaged 5 points and 1.3 rebounds. He played an average of 18 minutes per game. The previous year, he averaged 7.2 points per game and made 19 starts. Junior Ballard is from Stockton. He played his high school ball in Modesto. Brock Jones played his high school ball in Clovis, at Buchanan. Now he's at Stanford, and soon he'll be in Omaha. The Cardinal heading back to the College World Series, where with Tennessee eliminated, Stanford will be the favorite. Jones helped Stanford eliminate UConn in the Super Regionals on Monday. He did not, however, have another 3-home-run game like he did on Saturday. Just 1 hit in this one, 1 for 5, with 3 strikeouts. He did score a run. For the season, Brock Jones is hitting .327, and he has a current 6-game hitting streak. Stanford will play Arkansas in its first game at the College World Series on Saturday. In the majors, the Giants beat the Royals on Monday 6-2. Austin Wynns once again got the start at catcher for San Francisco. He had 1 hit, a double in the 3rd inning. He would score. The ex-Bulldog 1 for 4. He's hitting .417 in 4 games with the Giants since he was traded last week. And that's your look at sports.
Accelerated Urgent Care is now offering rapid COVID testing. Receive your COVID-19 results on site in just 10 minutes. That's right, COVID-19 results in just 10 minutes. Accelerated Urgent Care, expert care on your time.
Owning your own home is a dream come true.
So many Californians never missed a mortgage payment before COVID.
The pandemic hit all of us hard.
We could use a fresh start.
If you've missed mortgage payments during COVID, California Mortgage Relief can help save your home. Direct payments to your lender to cover missed payments. No fees, nothing to pay back. Find out if you qualify today. camortgagerelief.org.
Smarter spending pays off with EECU's Visa Platinum and Visa Classic credit cards. Save money with our low promotional 5.99% APR on everything you buy and on every balance you transfer. Now through June 30th, 2022. We'll even waive the balance transfer fee.
Getting an EECU credit card is definitely the smart way to go.
Apply online at myeecu.org. EECU. Smarter banking since 1934.
Everything about a big truck is big. Big tires, big gas tank, big engine. And in an accident, big injuries. When it comes to truck wrecks, I know what I'm talking about. I'm attorney Tom Dunyan. Call me. It's just that easy.
Do you know a local hero? We want to know at yourcentralvalley.com. KC24, Fiesta Tax Service, and State Center Community Colleges are teaming up to give a local hero $250 every month. Sign up at yourcentralvalley.com and tell us who your local hero is and why. Just share your local hero's contributions and self-achievements. Winners revealed each month on Central Valley Today. Enter now at yourcentralvalley.com. Heroes matter on KC24.
Accelerated Urgent Care is now offering rapid COVID testing. Receive your COVID-19 results on site in just 10 minutes. That's right, COVID-19 results in just 10 minutes. Accelerated Urgent Care, expert care on your time.
This is KC24 News at 11.
On Capitol Hill, day 2 of the January 6th committee hearings focusing on establishing the so-called big lie. Garrett Haake with more.
The January 6th committee's second hearing today, hammering home a single message. Donald Trump lost the 2020 election, and he knew it.
As a result of his loss, decided to wage an attack on our democracy. And in doing so, lit the fuse that led to the horrific violence of January 6th.
The committee relying on the taped testimony of top Trump campaign staff, who urged caution as election night returns showed Joe Biden winning.
There were suggestions by, I believe it was Mayor Giuliani, to go and declare victory and say that we'd won it outright.
Miller claiming Giuliani was intoxicated. His attorney telling NBC News Giuliani wasn't drinking at all. Trump campaign manager Bill Stepien backing out of a planned live appearance this morning at the last minute after his wife went into labor. Instead, the committee played this videotape of Stepien earlier saying he also disagreed with Giuliani.
Ballots were still going to be counted for days, and it was far too early to be making any proclamation like that.
But the president declared victory on election night anyway.
Frankly, we did win this election.
Creating a rift in his inner circle that only grew as courts rejected 61 of 62 legal cases filed by the president's team.
We called them kind of my team and Rudy's team. I didn't mind being characterized as being part of Team Normal.
What they were proposing, I thought was nuts. The theory was also completely nuts.
The president's embrace of the so-called big lie of a stolen election ultimately leading his attorney general to resign.
I thought, boy, if he really believes this stuff, he has, lost contact with he's become detached from reality if he really believes this stuff.
And that was Garrett Haake reporting. Wall Street entered a bear market today as the S&P sank nearly 4%. And the S&P down more than 20% from the record high set back in January. Concerns about a fragile economy and stubborn inflation have been slamming the market in recent days. The Dow ended down 876 points today.
Well, still to come here, a weekend event where having fun means you have to get dirty.
And a trip to the car wash is a must after it's all over.
Hobbytown is back, and we sell fun with something for almost every hobbyist, including trains, games, and puzzles, RC cars, and planes. We've got you covered. Hobbytown on Barstow and Blackstone in Fresno. We sell fun.
A Toyota hybrid is the perfect balance of gas and electric power. And with 11 models to choose from, there's one for everyone. Now you can go further without worrying about recharging, because no plugs means incredible MPG with no charging downtime. Plus, Toyota's hybrid battery warranty covers 10 years or 150,000 miles for added peace of mind. And when you combine incredible plug-free MPG, legendary reliability, and more models than any other brand, Toyotas are the perfect hybrid of everything you want and everything you need. Toyota, let's go places.
The more we learn about COVID-19, the more questions we have. The biggest question now, what's next? What will COVID bring in 6 months, a year? If you're feeling anxious about the future, you're not alone. Cal Hope offers free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Wake up. Nothing good in life ever comes easy. This American dream isn't something that's handed over. It begins with hard work. You either accept things as they are, or you grab the reins. This is our purpose, our future.
No matter what's happening outside with the Lennox Ultimate Comfort System, it's always perfect inside. Not just perfect air, perfectly tuned to your home air. And operates whisper quiet.
The Lennox Ultimate Comfort System. Perfect air, fully realized. Don't you wish everything was perfect? Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning today.
Look, Mommy, it's Max. Fiesta Auto Insurance and Tax Services, along with our friend Max, always ready to help maximize your refund. DUIs, tickets, no license, no problem. We offer the best services and prices in the Valley. Visit today and get your policy over the phone in minutes. Need to transfer or update your title? We offer same-day DMV services. Come in and get your tags today. When you see Max, you've arrived at Fiesta Auto Insurance and Tax Services. Visit or call us today.
If RC cars and planes are something you're into, Hobbytown has everything you need. From starter kits to top performers, we have the largest selection in the Central Valley. Arma and E-Fly headline our incredible selection. Hobbytown on Barstow and Blackstone in Fresno. We sell fun.
Finally, just like some kids love to play in the mud, some adults do too.
Yeah, check out this muddy mayhem in Hungary this past weekend. About 1,500 4x4 vehicles and about 30,000 people took part in the Babad Off-Road Festival. And to say that the event gets a little messy is an understatement. When the event first started 36 years ago, it featured mostly modified Soviet-built vehicles, but now it includes vehicles from all over, including the U.S. and Japan. And while it's fun to watch, this is not a high-speed event, especially since getting stuck in the mud is almost a given for everyone taking part.
Hope there's a car wash nearby.
Yeah, what a mess.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
The early bird wins more. Buy your Granville Home of Hope ticket now and you could win a brand new Granville home. Plus, $2,500 in early bird prizes from Quality Furniture and Grocery Outlet. Your money stays local. Purchase tickets now.
Grass is sprouting and flowers are blooming earlier than usual.